Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel, and here we are on a second recipe that I'm making from the chicken you saw me take out of the freezer for the 6-month no buying meat challenge. So Linda from Linda's Pantry and I are doing this challenge where we're going to try to use only meat from our freezer for 6 months. This is really going to help me because it's going to help me cycle through food from my freezer that needs to be used. Now before I start, in case you didn't know, you need to make sure that you check out Linda's Pantry and make sure that you watch all the videos that she's doing in this challenge. You'll see the little logo in the corner. And be sure and watch mine. But you want to make sure that you comment on them because at the end of each month for 6 months, we're going to do, one of us will do a giveaway. We're going to alternate. And then at the end of 6 months, there's going to be a bigger giveaway. So you want to make sure that you like and subscribe and be sure and watch our videos. Okay, so this is the second recipe that I'm making from the chicken that I got out of the freezer. This is super good, super classic, and I had a recipe in one of those old style cookbooks. I have a couple of them, and they're in a lot of these cookbooks. But this one here, I'm going to use this one because it's a little bit different than the one I showed in my other video. But really, I am not a fancy cook, but I will use recipes as kind of a guide, and so this is super simple. So what I've done here, really quickly, I'll tell you what I need. I've got some broccoli, and I didn't have just broccoli. I had the broccoli and cauliflower, and that's fine. I've already steamed it. I just have one bag of that. Now, you can double this if you want to do it for like a potluck or something, but for me, this is working out fine. So I've got the one bag of this just steamable broccoli and cauliflower, and you can get, you can use just broccoli if you want, but I didn't have it, so it's got cauliflower in it. But also, I went ahead in the casserole dish, and I put the vegetables that were left over from the recipe that I did where I roasted the vegetables and the chicken, because it was, why not? And also, the broth that gets on the bottom of the chicken when you put it in the fridge and it gels, I put that in there too because it's just good. Now, this will also take about 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. I use Miracle Whip. People are either Miracle Whippers or they're mayonnaisers. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Either one will work. So I've got 1/4 cup of that. And let me set this. Oh, what I'm going to do before I mix the mix, I'm going to go ahead and take all that shredded chicken. Look at the amount of chicken that came off of there. So that one chicken, we had the one meal. And now I'm going to put this in over all of this pre-steamed or prepared broccoli and cauliflower. So I'm going to put that in there. Just kind of put that around like that. This is so good. I've got the oven heated to 350. So now I'm just going to do this. Now, the amazing thing is, when I broke down the price for that last meal, it worked out to, what did I say, like $8 well, like $4 each, and now I'm making a whole nother meal out of it. Just blows my mind when you cook at home how much money you can save. Okay, so I've got that done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you over here. I've got 1/4 cup of milk, and I'm going to add in, where's my little scraper? Here you go. I'm going to put this mayonnaise or Miracle Whip in there. Just gives it a little bit of a zingier taste. And then I want to mix that really well because you're going to add lemon juice, and I don't like it. Lemon juice, I think, is going to not be good with the milk. So I want to mix this up well. Then I'm going to add in 1 can of cream of chicken. If you don't have that, you can use cream of mushroom. It's fine. Ooh, a little bit of that gel. So I've never been a fancy cook. I just like to cook, though. So there it is. Okay, now I'm going to put this cream of chicken in there. You ever notice the new cans of soup will have Instant Pot recipes on the side? See that? I actually wanted to do a collaboration one time called Label Recipes, and it's just recipes people make from the label that are their favorites. I thought that would be fun. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Okay, there's that. Now I'm going to mix this up. Now I'm going to get this really mixed well. It's going to take a couple minutes, so I'll bring you back. You don't need to watch me mix this, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got that mixed. And this is actually the whip off one of those, those immersion blenders. I don't have the blender anymore, but I kept the little whip because I love this one. Okay, now I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Let me get this lemon juice open. Hang on, I got to have Brian open it for me. Okay, there we go. Whew, I was out gardening and I hurt my thumb, and it's really hard for me to open that. All right, so I'm going to put in, oop, got a little extra. It's okay. Nothing is really ever the end of the world here. Okay, so now I'm going to mix that in well with my weird little whip. Okay, so that's all mixed. Now, I'm going to pour that out on top of this chicken and vegetable mixture, and it's going to be so good. There we go. I'm just going to pour that on top of there and spread it around. And it's supposed to be thick like this because as it cooks, it's going to loosen up. And also, the steam from this and the heat and the moisture is going to soften up the stuffing. And yes, I said stuffing. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread this all around here. And it doesn't take that long because pretty much everything's cooked. It just needs to get really hot all the way through. And, you know, kind of perfect where it's bubbly and nice. I'm going to sprinkle that around the sides. Get that in all the nooks and crannies. Now you could do this with green beans if you want, if you don't have broccoli. I thought if I couldn't find broccoli, I would use green beans. You could also do this with some minute rice, if you wanted to do that as well. Let me get that out of there. This spoon has little holes in it. Okay. All right, there you go. And now I'm going to take a box of stuffing. And I'm going to open that up and just sprinkle this stuffing across the top of the chicken mixture. And this has all the seasonings. You're thinking, well, Linda, how come you're not putting seasonings on there? Because there's amazing seasonings in the stuffing. Now, this is going to be like a one-dish meal, so you really don't even have to make a side dish. What I'm going to do, however, is I'm going to cut up some apples and oranges and put some walnuts and stuff in there and make like a little side of, you know, fruit salad kind of thing. Okay, so there's that. Let me get that all mixed up. And now I have 1/4 cup of butter that I'm going to drizzle across the top of this stuffing. Ooh, yum. It smells good. I love the way stuffing smells, though. It's so good. All right, now I've got 1/4 cup of butter, and I'm just going to drizzle that across the top of the stuffing. And now this is going to go in that 350-degree oven. It should take about 40 or 45 minutes. And then I will bring you back when that comes out of the oven and I dish it up. Okay, while that's cooking, I want to go over the total cost of these meals. So the chicken was $8.66, and I broke down the last meal in the last video, but really quickly, in case you haven't seen that yet. The veggies I used, couple bucks, the seasoning bag, a couple, maybe $3, and cornbread I made, maybe $2. So that worked out to $15.66, and if I round it up to cover for the electricity for both of these meals, really, we'll round it up to $16. Divided by 2 of us, that worked out to $8 a meal if we ate that whole thing, which we didn't do because I had half of it left over. So if we take away that half, then that means it's $4 each meal. That's amazing, and it was a good meal too. So adding tonight's dinner in, if I take that $16 and add a couple bucks for that bag of frozen vegetables, $2 for the miscellaneous stuff like the, you know, the mayonnaise and the milk and stuff, and then maybe $3 for that box of stuffing. And I'm going way over here, like $4 for the fruit that I'm going to use. Then that will total to be $27. Divided by 4 meals still makes each one of these meals only $6.75 each. The amazing thing is, what we have tonight, we're not going to eat all that. So that's still going to be lunch. That would make it even cheaper. And all the chicken bones right here, they're going in my bag that goes in my freezer so that I build up a bunch of bones, and then I'm going to make bone broth with them. So it's really cost effective to eat at home and plan out your meals. And they're usually so much better than eating out. And they're healthier for you. So now I will come back to you when my casserole is out of the oven and I have it plated up and ready to serve. This took about 45 minutes, and I dished it up before I showed you, but look at how good that looks. So delicious. So what I did was I had some cornbread left over from last night, so we're having that, or from the last, well, it was last night too. So we're having that with the casserole. And I also just took 1 banana, 1 apple, and 1 of the little clementine oranges, a few walnuts, and then a scoop of jam that I made. The jam that I used for this was the date and orange jam, and then I just mixed it all up there and put some raisins in it, and it makes a really great little side fruit dish. So there's our meal tonight, and that would be the second one. And look how much we have left over. There's a whole nother meal. Probably a lunch and then something. So that's going to be awesome. And honestly, what I could do with this is we could have this for lunch tomorrow, and then the leftover I could put in some broth and make a soup out of it. So this is just an amazing thing you can do with a chicken. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.